right, happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy New Year's, and whatever else there is, Boxing
Other
Day.
ones.
Other ones. We love our other ones. Okay, we were gonna do JoJo's, but someone hasn't read part 9 yet, so
I didn't know. I didn't know you had that planned, and I'll
yes, we
be
did.
honest.
We I have you
I
recorded
said
suggesting
some.
it.
I said sometime in the future.
Okay, well, sometime in the
I
future
I
we'll do
left that as
the JoJo
ambiguous as
comments.
possible.
Yeah, we'll do the JoJo comments sometime in the future, sometime in 2026.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, it have to be 2026
Well,
now.
anyway, dude, stop. You don't understand. One Piece is ending. Like, ending.
Oh shit, you're right. That was confirmed last week. I
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah,
Or was it
okay,
2 weeks
so,
ago?
yeah, 2 weeks ago, because, like, we finally got, everyone knows the famous statement when Oda said, when I finally introduce a character with an eye patch, that's when the manga will be entering its final phase. And he did it. He introduced the character with the eye patch.
Wow.
I know. It's like, and it was Shanks. Oh my god.
Whoa.
It's Shanks. He's there with his eye patch, his big long, really wraparound eye patch that
Also,
covers like a whole corner of his head. It's a giant eye patch.
So sorry if I'm stupid, because I get confused sometimes. But look at this chopper image.
Oh my god, is that Shanks?
I can't believe One Piece has been ending since Drum Island.
Oh my god, oh no.
And
Wait, if it's ending
it's
now, then does that mean that it's already ended and we're just all in a dream?
fuck. Um, some spoilers described Shanks as having patching over his eye, which is scummy as fuck, by the way.
Yeah.
So people read those leaks and thought that meant, oh, eye patch character, series ending. To which I would say, here's the thing. Even if that was... let's use critical thinking. Let's ignore that spoilers are stupid, right?
Yeah.
You think the legendary eye patch character is going to be Shanks in 5 chapters of a flashback max? Are you stupid?
Yeah, like
This is a
we in the
character Oda
modern
said he
day.
is excited to draw.
Yeah, no, in the modern day, Shanks does not have the eye patch, so this isn't like a permanent addition to his character design. It's not like it would have been different if like we were in the middle of Elbaf and Shanks got in a fight and then like lost his eye. Then okay, then maybe. But this is a flashback. That wound's fine. It's gonna heal.
Yeah. No, and also, by the way, the idea that it could ever be a bandage is hilarious because Puff, I don't know if you remember how close Oda has gotten to giving us an eye patch.
Oh yeah, I remember Sugar.
Sugar is a technicality away.
It's a see-through eye patch, so it
So it
doesn't
doesn't
count.
count. Yeah, because it's so asinine. Because ignoring the fact that you had a spoiler and you're stupid, and now you think One Piece is over. The other really big thing is that it needs to actually be one an eye patch and two a big deal. Because let's talk about the actual likely contenders for eye patch. A, Luffy or someone gets it. Uh, B is what I think is the most likely. Joy Boy. It's gonna be in the Joy Boy flashback.
Yeah, first pirate had the eye patch. Maybe he's gonna have a
And
peg leg
also,
too.
I think the Joy Boy flashback is a pretty good indicator that we're towards the end of the series.
Yeah, no, like we've already entered the quote unquote final saga, so this could count as the final phase, and it'd be fine. It would still could go on for another five,
Yeah, but
6
if we
years.
needed another major checkpoint that we're almost there, I think the Void Century flashback would be a pretty fucking good one.
Yeah, it would.
Third place is a tie between whoever the fuck the man marked by flames is, or Loki takes off his bandages and he has 2 eye patches underneath. If it's that, then
That
hell
would be funny.
yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Ugh.
So
Anyway,
what
the
shorts YouTuber
reason
had that thing?
he's not a One Piece Shorts YouTuber, he's like a general media demon.
Uh,
So, the worst. He made a few videos
Pure
that we got
grifter.
really mad at. His name is Jacob. Is it Weeby? Jacob Weeby. Hi, Jacob Weeby. He might be a clickbaiter. Because the things he says get me so angry, it doesn't feel real. Because he made 2 other. He made one that was about One Piece specifically, and one that was about anime in general, but used One Piece as an example. Wait, where is it?
Where's what?
Wait, did he delete it?
Oh no.
Did he delete the video that got us angry? I don't see
Oh
it.
no.
Hold on. Let me check video chat. I sent it. Hold on. I found it. Okay. I found it. It's still here.
Okay.
It's still here. So
Unlisted.
he made some. Fuck it. I don't think so. I think it was just hard to find.
Okay.
It's called The Problem with Manga, in which this shorts YouTuber who has over 2 million subscribers, who covers like general like news and takes relating to like video games, MCU, anime, like that media sphere, claimed that the problem with manga is that anime is the only medium on the planet where the storyboards are released months in advance.
Did you see the latest chapter of One Piece? No. I just watched the anime. Oh, it was insane! We finally got to see Zoro oiled up in 4K throwing it back! Bro, why are you spoiling me? Sorry, it's just so good! Well, now I won't be able to enjoy it when it premieres on the anime. Well, why don't you just read the manga like everyone else? I shouldn't have to read the manga. What other medium does the creator release the storyboard before the main release? Could you imagine if people leaked the script of Avengers Endgame a year before the movie came out? That would have completely killed the suspense and the hype. Wait, are you saying that One Piece is Avengers Endgame level? It could be. If Oda just worked directly with Toei Animation instead of releasing his storyboard to the public, One Piece could be better than it already is. But the manga has to be successful for them to produce the anime. I know, but just imagine how much better Gear 5 could have been if it premiered on the anime. It would have been even more incredible.
By storyboards, he of course means the manga.
Yeah. Which is just... Okay, I'm sorry you don't like to read.
But it's calling it a storyboard. He said, like, imagine if Oda worked together with Toei. Imagine how much better One Piece would be. It's a truly infuriating claim. It's a 2-month-old video. I guess it like double popped off.
It's like literally like, you know, like, dude, mediums are objectively better than one another. It's like, okay, if we want to get down and dirty with this, then it's video games because they have more elements than any other one. Any other answer is just you having a bias. And like the real answer is that none of them are inherently superior. Like I have no doubt.
No, actually, Puff, the real answer is VR video games specifically are the best ones. They're the best ones.
Sure, yeah, okay, yeah. VR video games are objectively the best because they have the most tools at their disposal. But anyway,
exactly.
Putting that aside, like I don't give a shit about like poetry unless it's attached to a Bleach volume, right? But
we're too stupid for that shit.
But I have no doubts that there are poems that can make me cry, and I have played games that I think are dog shit, and read manga that I think is dog shit.
Well, obviously, so, like, it's such like a dumb, like it's the take you'd hear at like your middle school. Yeah. Like when you and your middle school friends are learning what manga is for the first time.
But dude, if Oda just worked with Toei, then they can make it like Avengers Endgame level.
Okay. Oh no.
He like actually said that like it meant anything.
We're downgrading it to Endgame level. It's such an infuriating take. Luckily, I think all of his comments got mad at him. And it might be rage bait. I don't know how smart he is.
It's kind of really funny to use Infinity War as an example because it's also based off a comic book. Like I get, that's like, you know, like they change a lot in adaptation, obviously, but it is still based on a comic book, and I'm willing to bet some of the comic books had a better written Thanos.
It's also funnier. It's also funnier too because the idea of manga being a storyboard is funny because like even something like One Piece, which you could say sometimes does do that, they don't anymore. Like for every shot for shot scene they do, we have another 10 to 15 minutes of random bullshit they made up. So it's not even.
I know. And like even then, like sometimes the fact that they're doing it like you know, moving manga-esque adaptation, that's not good. that's those tend to be pretty weak adaptations, you know, most of the time, I think.
Well, like I think the pinnacle of that is probably just like the first 2 MHA seasons.
Yeah.
where it was like they not season 2. Season 2 actually had a lot of filler because the sports festival. Season 1 was like a fucking shot for shot.
Yeah, and you know, like again, like an example I always like to bring with One Piece is like sometimes the comedy does get butchered. Like everyone knows that, like, oh, there's 10,000 reaction faces that all take up like 5 seconds of time, and you know, it drags out the joke. Whereas, like, you know, if you just read the manga, it's just one big spread, and you see all the faces like simultaneously. Like it's very different, obviously. I feel like I'm talking to I feel like I'm talking to a fifth grader.
Yeah. No, I just like the video because I don't think there's a single like semi-intelligent person who could watch it and not get annoyed. Because it's so stupid. It really is just like he got spoiled on something, and instead of taking the opinion of, okay, I either need to get manga off my feed or catch up, his conclusion was Oda should write the anime. Fucker. All right. What was next?
Next is dude, what if Shanks being in Mary Joa was his 3D2Y?
Marie Joie, like he goes, oh, like he abandoned his crew to go train there.
Yeah, for 2, like you said, in 2 years we'll meet up again. I'm gonna go to the Holy Land to do fuck shit. You guys go do your own thing. And
well, I don't think that number. I don't think that exact number works now.
Yeah, probably not. But you know what
or
I mean.
It doesn't. We're stupid. But like, because like it, again, this is this whole thing of Chapter 0 is like on the shakiest canonicity ice of all time. But if it is, then Shanks already met Yasopp and Ben Beckman. So, so. Or I know. Wait, when I say, I guess I just assumed he met Ben Beckman first. I don't know that. He's already met Yasopp. So presumably he may have ditched his crew, or Chapter 0 is in fact not canon, which would be a crying shame.
Yeah. The only like Shiki thing before the Rocks flashback, it's important to you, to if no one else.
I like it.
Yeah, okay, alright. Next is all the guesses people have had about like how Shanks deterred Kaido that have been cropping up recently are worse than the original 3 everyone first thought of.
What was the one we heard that annoyed us?
He was like a holy knight, so he was able to teleport his ship there, and also for some reason, because he was a holy knight and had that authority, he was able to like convince Kaido to stop because Kaido didn't want to fight a god's knight. And it's like, what are you talking about? What?
Yeah, because
why would Kaido give a shit?
The 3 that the very, very first 2, the very first 3 are in order. Shanks beat him, Shanks sunk his ship and inhibited him, or Shanks convinced him to leave. Shanks convinced him to leave. Once we learned Kaido was a drunk, kind of evolved into Shanks got him drunk and convinced him to leave. And to this day, those are still the 3 best guesses. Shanks maybe just jumped Kaido and defeated him. Shanks is really strong. That might work. 2, Shanks maybe blew up his ship and pushed him into the water. Kaido can't drown, but he also can't swim. So that would still work. And then
I just imagine him and Jack just sunk to the bottom together.
And then King's like, shit, I gotta go get the chains. let me go fly off and get the chains. And then maybe he got him drunk and convinced him to fuck off. And to this day, those are still the best explanations.
Yeah, makes
sense.
Usually, the simplest explanation is the correct one. I don't think like Shanks being a god's knight gives him some weird authority over Kaido or makes Kaido afraid of him. I don't think that'd be, because like Kaido's deal is that like he was going to fight to Marineford. Like, why would he be scared of a god's knight at that point?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next is dude, did Shanks and Shamrock swap places? Did we get a switched at birth scenario, except they switched at age like 17 or something?
This doesn't. Yeah, the idea that when Shanks went up to the Holy Land, they swapped places. No. Because
this was an O'Hara video, and he just like pretended this would
O'Hara didn't even like the theory. He was just giving devil's advocate. He said he didn't like it. It's just a popular Twitter theory.
Yeah, but anyway, it's like there's no dramatic depth that comes from that at all. Like nothing changes, basically.
It also doesn't make any fucking sense because Shanks showed up with the eye patch over what we all assume is the Blackbeard scar.
Yeah.
So you know.
No, dude,
Uh,
When he became like Shamrock, quote unquote, he got the full regeneration
and
powers and he
healed
healed
his
it.
scar, even though that's not how scars work.
Shamrock thought, oh, dude, if I am gonna impersonate Shanks, I need a badass scar like his, and then gave himself an exact copy scar,
Mhm.
and then went out into the world and just did the Shanks's
Even
thing.
even though Saturn had a scar with the highest level of immortality, meaning getting immortality after getting a scar does in fact not heal it.
Oh no.
It also just makes a lot of interactions nonsense. Like his interactions with Buggy just don't make sense now.
Yeah,
Uh,
like it's you're supposed to have a relationship. That's the whole point. Is that they know each other, and that's funny. What about Mihawk?
it's
Who dueled Mihawk? Was it Shanks or
it was
Shamrock?
Shamrock. It was Shamrock. It's very silly and very stupid. It was just people thought of it because it sounded cool and then didn't consider the ramifications.
All right. Oh, I forgot. This one kind of cropped up, and this was one of O'Hara's like counterpoints to that theory, which was just kind of irked us. Scopper recognized Shanks' hockey signature, so it can't be Shamrock.
Yeah, because the idea, because like as Luffy has showed us, you can recognize people by your hockey signature or whatever the fuck that means. You can recognize people through sheer hockey, and of course Luffy can. Luffy uses it to see through disguises.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't think that's valid because if Oda really wanted to do a Shanks Shamrock mix-up, he would just say twins have similar hockey signatures.
Yeah.
And then boo! Perfect excuse. We lose.
Like it's just weird because like he went to that before. Wouldn't Scopper like notice that that this isn't Shanks, like he's talking differently, or like
or he brought up the voice actor. And like, oh, Shamrock's voice actor's a different guy. And it's like, okay, but one, the anime probably didn't know that. And two, oh no, animation error. That doesn't matter because it's like, it's just like wonky anime shit. And again, the number one perfect counter argument is just Shanks' scar. Like, there's no getting past that one.
Okay.
Fuck me.
All right, next is dude, did you know that you can live off of 100 berries a day in East Blue?
Okay, well, we'll be nice because he did correct himself in the comments.
Okay, yeah, he did.
Noonan loves doing over analysis, which is fine because he kind of like admits frequently during his videos that that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
So like he analyzed the fact that Oda loves doing fake brands, and then when people ask them about him in SBS, he adds lore, and he's been doing this for so long. One Piece has a background of like a fashion brand empire going on, which is super funny.
That is really funny.
And he tried to like analyze it thematically, but early on he said one weird thing, which was that the shirts were what, like a 10,000 berry shirt. Yeah, the shirts are 10,000 berries. A shirt Luffy was wearing in a color spread, and he's like, "That's crazy." Because in the East Blue, you can live off of 10. What was it? 100 or 10? 100 berries.
100 berries
a week. No, it was a week.
Oh, what? Whoa, fuck! That's way off then. Because the one number we have is that like a head of cabbage is 170 or 150.
And then
like
he admitted in the comments that that's what he was going off of. So he must have just misread it.
Yeah.
So good for him, because berry is just yen. You can't live off 100 yen a week. You die. And also, a 10,000 yen shirt is like $65, which is not like luxury brand expensive. It's like Lululemon expensive. It's like you buy it and then you're like, if this gets a stain on it, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Because this is $30 to $20 more than my normal sweatshirt. Otherwise, it's like a cute, charming video. Like, I have no problems with it.
Yeah,
because like he acknowledges that he's over analyzing. He knows that's what he's doing.
Yeah. All right. Next is Oars disobeying Moria is because of the Nika fruit.
Oh my fucking god! Was that Anime Balls Deep?
This was Anime's Balls Deep. Yeah.
Okay, so as we know, shadows, when they first transfer, keep their personality. Like the penguin acted like Sanji, that one sword zombie acted like Zoro, but then slowly they lose control. That's how it works. That's how it was established. and then but then the
Yeah,
zombie.
very obvious example. You know, Sanji, like, when he was fresh, like, you know, would not kick women, but you know, like, by the time Robin and Chopper fight him late into the arc, like, he's completely past it and kicks Robin. So you know,
Yeah,
Sanji's gone now. He's just a zombie.
but no, what it is the spirit of the devil fruit was put inside of Oars. So Oars wasn't acting like Luffy. Oars was acting like Nika. And this doesn't make any sense, because if you fucking remember, Oars was trying to stretch instinctively because it was Luffy's shadow. So Moria had to help Oars stretch so that his fighting style would match his instincts.
And also, like,
You know,
he
if
would
the
scream.
devil fruit is in the shadow, why the fuck does Luffy still have it?
Yeah, and also, like, you know, when he screams, "I'm gonna be king of the pirates," like, that's because Luffy idolizes, like, Roger, wants to, you know, be the next pirate king. Did Joy Boy, like, actively seek a title when he was the first pirate himself? Did he declare himself the pirate king when he was the first pirate?
I guess maybe
that would
he
have been
did.
maybe, but like, that'd be a bit weird. It wouldn't be just, "I'm a pirate and I'm establishing and inventing the idea of pirates. I'm a pirate."
Yeah.
King. Yeah.
Simply put, it was a nonsense theory. If you guys, they've already heavily implied that, well, it's already outright stated that if you awaken a zone wrong, you get taken over by the zone's personality. So Luffy's fruit objectively has a hypothetical personality. You don't need to prove it.
I know, and like, also, just like, people just love misremembering how Moria's power works for like dumb theories, like, who's that rocks pirate everyone was talking about, like the zombie
Wang Ji.
Wang Ji, yeah, like, that's the one where just like, that literally is not how Moria's power
Oh yeah,
works at all.
Ochako was Moria's zombie, even though he's alive during the time skip. It's so stupid.
I know.
That one's or Ochako, whichever. Fucking people are dumb. That's a lot more confusing now, because the person we thought was Wang Ji and Ochako, and like different people. The guy we thought was in the big armor, we thought that was Ochako. We met big armor guy, not Ochako.
You know, but like, we're talking about the guy Blackbeard supposedly fought on Beehive, and there's no way he was Mazami Thriller Bark. There's no absolute
It's really
way.
confusing now, because a lot of fan misconceptions were like mega wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like, the guy in the big golden armor was a rocks pirate, but like, he can't be Wang Ji. He can't be Wang Ji. It's impossible.
which we learned, because that was or whatever the fuck. We might be mixing up names. I don't care.
Yeah.
You get the point. What's next?
All right. Next is all devil fruits change the personalities of people who eat them. Thank you, Ohara.
This is it. Ohara brought this up once, but he dropped it, so we kind of forgave him. Then he brought it back, and I don't forgive him anymore. This is, of course, a wonderful theory that where Ohara just brings up shit like, "Oh, dude, Doflamingo is a what are the ones he brought up in the recent video? Doflamingo is a manipulator from his old video.
Yeah.
Khalifa. He said the bubble fruit made Khalifa stupid.
Are you sure about that?
I don't think so. Khalifa is a ditz. No, it's funny because it's like they were hiding their real personalities. So all of them act slightly different at Eni's lobby than they did at Water 7, because they were under disguise at Water 7. Lucci didn't fucking talk.
No, he didn't. He also didn't try and kill anyone either.
No.
Which is way out of character for Lucci.
Yeah, really, the only one who seemed to not really be playing up a character was Kaku. Because Kaku loved his job.
Yeah, he loved his job. And after he left, he still loved his job.
Yeah. But otherwise... No, it's so weird, because it's just like character writing, where it's like, no, we give the manipulator a string fruit because that's interesting. And also, like, the mega counter to this is the admirals, where literally the joke with the first three is that their fruits go against who they are. Kuzan literally used to be known as Burning Justice, and he's a warm-hearted individual, but he has the cold fruit. Sakazuki is a cold-hearted bastard, but he has the magma fruit. Kizaru is slow as fuck and has the light fruit. That's the joke.
Oh, but dude, he's like a paragon of virtue. He's an admiral. And it's like he's a shining beacon that guides us all.
But he's Kizaru. Not. It's Kizaru.
Or like, even
Kizaru's
like,
not a paragon
what
of
about
anything.
like Sengoku being the Buddha? Like, you can read into it a bit, but like, you know, he's not literally like the Buddha was. Not really
No.
at all.
No, it's not like from what we can tell Luffy's personality changed after eating the Nika fruit.
And it's also like, we get like 10 pages of Luffy before he eats the fruit, so it's like, what are we really comparing pre and post
But
Luffy
like
eating
he
the fruit?
acts consistently from the few things we see.
Yeah.
And then Sabo doesn't change. Sabo's the same fucking guy.
No, he became like twice as much of a big brother to Luffy as when he ate the thing.
No, it's super weird because it doesn't make it. That's why you had to bring up Khalifa, because that's the only one where it's like, oh well, she was acting like a stern secretary before, and now she's acting like kind of a different person because she's dropped her stern secretary.
Dude, did you know that Blackbeard became more like Whitebeard after he ate the Quake fruit?
What does the Gura fruit do to you? What does it make you?
It makes you an emperor. It makes you a Yonko, man. That's the personality tree you get. You get
Oh no,
you are
he claimed the other one is he claimed the soul fruit made Big Mom evil, not the fact that
Oh
she
my
was
God,
adopted
that's
and then
dumb.
raised by Streusen, who is evil, and then kept living in a deeply evil pirate world her whole life, reinforcing and encouraging the evil behavior she believes in.
Like literally, she was a child who was so strong no one could punish her, so everyone enabled her behavior and whatever her first instinct was, and then she got groomed by a pirate. Like,
Got groomed by Streusen, who Streusen saw Big Mom eat a bunch of kids alive and thought it was fucking hilarious. Streusen's a lunatic.
he is. Like, oh man. Uh, all right.
I saw a funny joke where it's the reason all of the Rocks pirates hated each other is because Streusen was probably their cook, and Streusen's food can only taste like shit. So they were just
Well, no,
always in a bad
but
mood.
he is actually a good cook, just so long as he doesn't use his devil fruit. Like, we know that.
I can imagine he was only using it on them.
He was a cheap bastard back in the day.
But Rox is like, we need funds. Just turn rocks into food. He's like, it's gotta taste like shit. Rox is like, I don't care. He's like, all right, I guess.
And like
I'll
again,
do what you say, boss.
we do have to add the one stipulation. Yes, this is true of some Zoans, because some Zoans can overtake your personality.
Lucci's outright stated. It's outright stated that carnivorous zones make you a little more bloodthirsty, but clearly the range there varies, because Drake is not a particularly bloodthirsty motherfucker.
Yeah, but Lucci is the most bloodthirsty person, like, in the whole story.
Because
And,
he
next
already
to him
was.
is Jabra, who also has one, but he's not like Lucci. Like, he's not great, but he's not Lucci.
Yeah, because Lucci was already bloodthirsty. The fruit just made it worse. Whereas everyone else who has a carnivorous animal doesn't seem notably more violent. So whatever effect it has on your psyche is pretty minor.
Yeah, or like even like Pel's a falcon, right? Those
Yeah.
those eat meat.
Yeah, those
But
are
he's
carnivorous.
chill as fuck.
Birds.
He's like so chill.
Yeah, so is Chaka. Chaka's a jackal.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind
So
of.
I think it is just kind of like it's either the fruit overtakes you, or it's you just become more bloodthirsty if you let it make you more bloodthirsty. I think that's just the most
that's
consistent
also
answer.
possible.
Yeah. All right. Next is dude. You know that can you remind me what's your favorite One Piece movie?
My favorite One Piece movie is Film Red.
Oh, dude, that's nice and all, but did you know that it fucking sucks because there's plot holes?
Okay, so we have been watching a bit of Ultimate Yonko, who I've learned is my age, which baffled me. He has some fucking takes, and like one really funny thing is we watched him rank anime he's seen and then movies, and genuinely, I joke because I noticed early on that whenever he praises things, the only way he praises writing is he says, I was on the edge of my seat, I didn't know what was going to happen, and there were good twists. So I literally predicted how he would praise each movie by how many twists were in it, and I was right. Every time he brought up a twist, I burst out laughing.
I still can't believe he gave Stampede a 9.5. Like, oh my god.
It was just the plot was pretty good, actually. But anyway,
What fucking
his
plot?
critique-
The plot is
his
everyone
critique-
went to a place and then they fought Bullet for 90 minutes. That's the plot of the movie.
listen, man, it's like Broly. Anyway, his plot hole in Film Red isn't like any of the semi-questionable things, like, oh, seawater depowered Luffy. It was in a dream world, so I guess maybe it's okay, but like, it's iffy.
Yeah, no, like I
but
think it's just like it's just an inconsistency with the actual canon, where it's just
But thankfully, it's a dream world, so you have the ultimate excuse. But his plot hole is that Uta claims she wants to save the world from pirates, but wait a minute. But if you put everyone in a dream, then everyone dies. That's kind of like Aaron. And you claim you hate pirates because Shanks, but you know Shanks isn't evil? Plot hole, ding! Literally, the guy who says twists are the greatest writing of all time, or like seems to think twists are one of the only types of writing, didn't understand the Uta twist.
Oh, it felt like he was the exact like you know, like recently we've been rewatching some of the Game of Thrones director commentary things,
All
and
of
like
it. I rewatched all of it.
yeah, you know, and I was there like listening to it in the background while you watch some of it, and just the way they talk about like, you know, wanting to surprise the audience. It seems like this is exactly the type of person they're thinking about when they ruined Game
Arya
of
killing the
Thrones.
Night King. Never saw that coming. Twist blew my mind.
10 out of 10. Super
Oh,
hype
also,
moment.
Slave Raider, that was just funny. He's also the type of guy who thinks like filler equal bad because he said that Full Metal Alchemist, the original, he had like it was like 5 tiers and he put it in the bottom tier. So like basically a 0 out of 5 in FMA the original because it didn't match the manga, which is nuts. Because one, it's gorgeous. Two, the early stuff it handles way better than Brotherhood.
Oh yeah,
'cause
no,
Brotherhood
like
is speed running.
unironically, the perfect way to watch like Full Metal Alchemist, like the anime, is to watch like the first like 12 or so episodes of the original, and then switch over to episode 2
I don't think
of
that's true. That's
know.
unfortunately not true because there are slight foreshadowings in Brotherhood that aren't in the OG.
Oh fuck.
The truth is, you should just watch both because it's interesting.
Yeah, they
They're
are both
different
good.
stories.
They are both
I
good.
do think it probably would be better to start with the first one because stuff like Show Tucker is way better in the OG because it's 2 episodes instead of 1. You get 1 episode to love the kid and then they die and you're like, yo, what the fuck? Whereas this kid
Shit, did you just
dies.
spoil Full Metal Alchemist for our dear viewers on Christmas?
Oh no. Whereas in the OG, whereas in Brotherhood, that kid dies like the 11-minute mark. It doesn't die. The kid gets turned into a dog at the 11-minute mark. It dies at like the 16-minute. We're going too fast, is what I'm saying.
I know. It is like a weird problem that, like, you know, like I'm not sure how they. It must have been like when they were making the decision of like how much to cut down.
Readapting it.
I understand the decision they made, but it's like, dude, you are kind of leaning on, you know, the original to
you're like
this.
it's an assumption people have already seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, also, the first filler episode, like not filler-y episode of Brotherhood, is fucking awful. I hate it.
Oh, I figured out the plot. I literally figured out the entire plot, man, and I'm gonna save the world, but also I'm the villain for this episode, and I'm not gonna tell anyone anything that's going on. How did I find out about this? Who knows? It's a mystery.
Also, well, he just hates Bradley, which is valid. Why wouldn't you? But no, it's bad because one, it's like it's so forced. It's like trying to introduce every single fucking important character as fast as you can, and I hate it. And then I also hate it because 2 things. One, they flash Father's face on screen for a second, which is nutty. And 2, they spoil that King Bradley's actually like a violent psychopath.
Yeah, because like that's like so much more effective when
slow
you just
build.
Yeah, you know, you just see it's like, oh, he's this old guy, you know, he's got an eye patch, he's probably seen some stuff, but you know, he's just up behind the desk, all he does is talk. He's always so slow whenever he moves.
He cuts Ed's spear and you're like, oh, he's kind of a badass. That's neat. And then he goes and attacks Greed, and you're like, ooh. And you're like, oh, this guy's a violent fucking lunatic.
You see him in his combat gear, and you're like, yo, shit's about to go down. Oh, he's gonna do some badass stuff. And it's like, wait, no, stop, Bradley, stop, don't do that, stop it, Bradley.
Bradley, you killed a woman while she was inside of a child. You fucking psychopath. I'm amazed Alphonse ever recovered from having a woman stabbed to death while she was inside of him.
That has to feel unreal, man.
That had to. I am amazed he ever recovered from that.
Well, anyway,
we talked about FMA for a minute.
Getting back to Film Red, you know, like the twist of Uta still hating Shanks despite knowing that, you know, he didn't just want the treasure, you know, he didn't just ditch her for treasure. She still got abandoned, and she still feels bad about that, and she grew up with a pretty shitty childhood because of this decision.
And as she said, everyone is relying on me because she thinks putting everyone into a dream will save them.
Like, yeah, again, obviously she's mistaken and all that.
From Saul.
No, it's just like, oh, her character flaws. You know, she misunderstands the world. You know, like even the whole Shanks thing's like, I won't even blame her on that one. Shanks abandoned his kid. Like, I'm sorry, but he did.
That was so that she could learn music. Dick move.
I know. It's just like, oh, but like he had to. It's like, no, he had the choice of literally staying with her and to stop being a pirate. Like he did have a choice, you know. Like Dragon's not a great dad, but at least he left his kid with, you know, in a good community that, you know.
Theoretically, not his fault the grandpa threw him in the woods.
Yeah, you know, he would have Luffy would have had a normal childhood had Garp not thrown him into the bandit camp.
So basically, just it is just like, you're stupid if you can't understand Uta's motivation. I could get not liking the twist. I know people didn't like the twist, but thinking it's a plot hole is a different thing.
I know. Like, plot hole literally means I don't know how you can reconcile the fact that this is in the story, but it's like, you know why, and they tell you why.
Right.
And not Game of Thrones season 7 and 8, they tell you why.
Anyway, what's next?
Next is, okay, this is a doozy. So, NC Hammer, our lovable little boy, made a video called, One Piece Crash Course, the East Blue Saga. Now,
where first off, he does this thing where he says, I'm not saying this is a replacement for the anime or manga. I know those are better. But if you want to catch up, you can watch these instead. So he's saying, I guess they're an inferior replacement, but still supposed to act as a pseudo replacement of sorts. That's because obviously you're saying people should watch it instead of reading the manga if they want to catch up fast, is what you're saying. So, you know.
And, you know, like, recap video, like, who gives a fuck? And, you know, like, most YouTubers we watch, like, shove recaps so much in the videos just for padding. So it's like, you know, as long as you're being transparent about it, like, you know, who gives a fuck, right?
Because, like, you know, but what's Abrase it on its own terms? For one, he never does any thematic analysis ever, which is hysterical.
Or character analysis, even.
No, he doesn't talk about development. Like, he doesn't talk about Zoro's development. Like, it's or Sanji's. It's so weird. The closest he does is saying the chef kicked Sanji out so that he could embrace his own dream. But more impressively is how much random shit he gets wrong that you could easily check in the wiki.
All right, so like he had to have been going like literally just off his memory and literally nothing else, or he was getting the stuff wrong on purpose. It's one or the other.
Because like
he got stuff like basic stuff like, okay, the East Blue Saga, we all know it's 100 chapters because 100 is when Dragon shows up and it was a big deal, and then they go to the Grand Line. So we all know chapter 100, maybe it's like 101 or 99, whatever the fuck, who cares, but 100 chapters, that's what everyone in the fan base says it is. He said it was 75, which
and
is
then 40 minutes in he corrected himself, and it's like, wait, how did you get that wrong because 75 isn't even like the end of Brodier or something. It's the middle of Arlong Park.
I know. And it's like, also
it's such a random fucking number. How did you do that?
And, you know, like, putting aside like glaring omissions like the cover stories, which, like, you know, that sucks, I guess, but whatever.
He said he would make those his own video, which doesn't make any sense because, like, you read them as you read the manga. You shouldn't separate them.
Yeah, and also, like, he is very inconsistent with what he chooses to spoil the reader on. Because, like, in the East Blue Saga, the term Yonko, or Emperor of the Sea, is never brought up once. But he does call Shanks and say he's an emperor. Remember, that's super important. Remember that for later.
He says that's why Luffy respects him, even though Shanks is not an emperor yet.
Yeah, he's not an emperor yet, so, like, that's not why Luffy does it. Luffy doesn't know shit. He just thinks he's a cool pirate is all. It's simpler than that.
Thanks to so many commenters correcting me about when Loki got chained up. Loki was chained up 6 or 7 years ago, and I know Loki was defeated the same year Shanks became an emperor, which is what spawned the theory that those events were intertwined. Yeah. And a pre-time skip was 12 years ago, so fucking nope.
Yep.
Not pre-time skip. Chapter 1 was 12 years ago. I said pre-time skip to add a 2 to the 10.
You know, in his jumbled memory, he remembered the old Weaver card that says Shanks was an emperor when he met Luffy, and he just
that
like, you know, I think that's what it may have happened.
But bringing up Yonko at all doesn't make any fucking sense.
I know, because like, what happens when you reach like Ennie's lobby and you have to explain the exposition dump of what a Yonko is to the viewers again? And
I guess he'll just bring up that we know the other 3 now. What's also weird about it is that Like, if we're being weirdly critical, because we get dates and numbers, we get dates and pronunciations wrong all the time. This video, he's making it as a hypothetical substitute for the story, so things like dates, chapter totals, and names are like the bare minimum.
I know
Like,
it's
if
like
this was a live stream clip, I wouldn't care that he gets these things wrong.
yeah.
But because of the type of video it is, I do care.
Like it's edited. I assume it's somewhat not scripted, but like bullet point listed at least. Like, but like he's editing it. Like everything is like premeditated in this video. So like anything he
And
gets
the type
wrong,
of video it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be
I know.
a hypothetical replacement.
Like he gets Luffy's age wrong. He said Luffy was 16, even though chapter one at the end of chapter one it says Luffy age 17 in a big text box, just so you know. And then later
he could just check the wiki.
Yeah, or whatever. But like anyway, even then later he says, like, oh, this is Kobe, someone who's younger than Luffy. It's like, not anymore, bitch. Kobe's 16 and Luffy is supposed to be 17, but he said he's 16, so now they're both 16. So you're just wrong again on that front. And also like about the whole like what he chooses to spoil people on. Like he calls Roger Gold D Roger and not Gold Roger,
Which is weird.
Even though like the existence was like a mystery that like they took a while to build up to, like we don't even like hear about Goldie Roger until Drum. And so like he's comfortable like I think that was just like a slip, a complete slip of the tongue.
Yeah,
like,
slip up. He didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I don't even think he was thinking about
I do
that.
want to correct you though. I don't think chapter 1 ever says Luffy is 17.
Are you sure? Doesn't it
I'm
say like
checking it.
doesn't it at the very least I know it says Luffy's age in the beginning and then it says like 12 years later or something, right?
It might do that. It says 10 years later. I added the 2 because the time skip.
Okay.
No, it might say that, but regardless, you could Google it. It's the first fucking thing on the wiki.
I know it's because he opens this video saying like, oh yeah, I know I'm not like a super One Piece head or anything, but I've been around the block. I've done some theories. I think I could do a pretty good job of this. And it's like, no, you didn't. You didn't even know how.
No. He said, I know One Piece well enough to make theories on it, which is so funny. O'Hara did this too with his iceberg. Theorists have this weird idea that theorizing is like this impressive art and not something 10-year-olds who have no idea what they're talking about do.
Yeah, no, and
my friends and I
am still convinced that
insane. My friends and I at age 10 were spitting some insane Dragon Ball theories, and I don't think we knew what the fuck we were talking about.
And I still stand by that. Like 95% of the people who watch theories, like like weekly, not us though. We're different. We're totally different.
We're intellectuals, definitely.
Yeah. Most people who watch theory videos like this regularly are like 10 to 14 years old. I firmly believe that, because like who else would enjoy it? But anyway, maybe I'm wrong about that. Whatever, who cares? But anyway, like he got stuff wrong. Like like when explaining the weakness of Delphi, he said, "Oh, it is salt water specifically. It is only the sea and salt water with salt in it. That's what makes Delphi users weak." And it's like, no, bitch, there was an SBS.
No, did you not read the crocodile
clarified this.
showering SBS?
If you're such a great theorist, you should at least know that much, right? Because that's a very important piece of devil fruit like knowledge. That's like pivotal to the story and explains why Luffy can't take a bath but is okay taking a shower.
Bath, but it makes him very sleepy.
Yeah.
It was
he also called the Grand Line a river, which was just funny and stupid.
Why
and I think another
did he
slip
say
of the
that?
tongue. What happened? I thought,
is
is it fresh water? Is it a big stream of fresh water going through the saltwater ocean?
The other thing that really got me was everyone gets names wrong. Puff gets names wrong a lot. But this is famously the guy who said Scooper Gabon. So every time he got a name wrong, I would laugh and Puff would be like, "It's fine." Because like I'm trying to think, what were some of the big ones? What was the one that he called Geen Jin, which always pisses me off. He's read Bleach. There's a Geen in Bleach. And it's like, oh wow, Krieg wears golden armor. The third in command is Pearls. Oh, is the second guy named after silver or fucking rum? I wonder.
Yeah, he also said Sanji was an apprentice chef on a pirate ship before meeting Zeph. That's just
No,
wrong
and that
again.
wasn't a slip of the tongue because he said it like 8 times.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then this was a weird one that you caught. It's that he called Kitetsu a black blade. You know, Kitetsu, the one Zoro picks up in the sword shop on Logtown.
Yeah, Katetsu the Third. And I have a theory for that. When Zoro gets Katetsu, the shop owner talks about
You
the
have a
pattern on
theory
it.
about NC Hammer's
His theory,
mindset
yes.
going into
He
this stupid
because
video.
the shop owner describes the unique pattern on the blade and uses like a fancy, maybe not fancy, specific word for it that I'm too stupid to remember. And I'm wondering if he remembered that, but thought that was a sign that it was a black blade. Because Katetsu, quite notably, is not a black blade. Any stretch of the imagination. It's metallic. It's a color of metal.
Like, it's got to be comment bait, right? He can't be this dense.
I'm not. I think it's more like for how lofty and ideal he pretended this was. He kind of just treated it like any other video. So like he didn't put the time into it that you would need to actually do this well. Because even us, with our nerd knowledge, there's still things I would want to double check if I was doing something like that.
Yeah.
I would never do it in the first place. I'd say, fuck you, go read the manga. But if I was going to, I would check.
All right. That's all I got. It's time for comments.
No, wait, we got another interesting one.
Oh, we do?
Got we got that slight inconsistency where Fisher Tiger escaping seems to have been retconned into being when he because the original Fisher Tiger story was that Fisher Tiger left Marijois as Fisher Tiger said, "Oh, I was off adventuring," when really he was captured and enslaved. But he was embarrassed about it, and then eventually he went and did the slave revolt, famously climbed the red line.
Yeah.
It seems like Oda forgot his own. It seems like Oda forgot his own metal writing, because in this, the slave revolt is the same day Fisher Tiger escapes. He's in shackles, Shanks has to free him. One of our commenters sent me I'm going to say questionable interview, but maybe legit, about someone who's aware of what Oda was thinking, and apparently Oda thought that they were supposed to be the same day. So Oda forgot. Oopsie doopsie. What's the solution? The easiest headcanon is that Tiger just put on shackles as a disguise.
But then, like, Shanks, like, got rid of his disguise and
Shanks
thought
is
he was
stupid.
saving
Shanks thought he was helping.
That would make the scene hilarious. But, like, dude, what are you doing, man? I wasn't actually caught. Like, are you in on this or not?
Tiger's like, thanks, I guess, but you did not need to do that. That or he got caught immediately when he tried to start the revolt and then broke out, like, 2 hours later.
That was my first thought when I saw him. Like, oh wait, he's in chains. Whoa, I thought, like, you know, did they like catch him again or something? Like, oh, weird.
So that's awkward, but you know, whatever. Someone will yell at him in an SBS, and then Oda will figure out whatever joke explanation he wants at that time.
It's either gonna be a joke explanation or it's gonna be like, oops, sorry.
What?
I hope it's a joke, because jokes are always better. I want super flow to it. I want as many super floaty with explanations in the manga.
I want it to be like, oh, those chains aren't slave chains. That was Tiger's climbing gear. Obviously.
Shanks was taking it off him because he thought it would be too cumbersome for him to pull off the raid with it on.
It'll be. I'm looking forward to that SBS question, because you can't erase it with a volume extra. You can't erase it with like the volume release, because Shanks has to cut at something.
Maybe, like, you know, maybe if this would like be a pretty drastic change, you'd have to like change a few panels. Maybe, like, you know, you just redo the page and have it be Shanks like defeats 2 assailants or attackers,
or just points, and says go
no,
that way.
No, I was thinking like he dashes past him and defeats 2 assailants or attackers trying to get Fisher Tiger, and says, you know, you go on ahead. I beat these guys up. Go that way, and then he's like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, we'll have to. I'm looking forward to that SBS.
Yeah. All right, comments.
I'm trying to think if there was any other video. What was the Dax Sake video we watched? Oh, it's his Straw Hat candidate. Wasn't it mostly good, and then he said something insane at the end?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. We watched like 2 days ago. We're really smart. No, he made a Straw Hat candidate video, and I think I agreed with all of his ideas, where it's like, Loki is going to depend on how Fruit works. Vivi's rejoining. If Yamato keeps copying Odin, probably going to join. And then stuff like Carrot is Cope, Bonnie is Cope. I agreed with all of that. I can't remember what he said one weird thing and it blew my mind. Oh, he said that Smoker wouldn't leave the Marines. It'd be better if he stayed within and fixed it from within. Saying Smoker isn't going to leave the Marines is like, I think, a misreading of the end of Punk Hazard.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's possible that, like, Smoker like thinks about it real hard, then rejects the idea, but I don't think that's gonna quite happen.
It could be a quote unquote he doesn't really leave because they make their own sect, but
yeah, they do the sword thing and rebel or whatever. It's
but
likely
he's going to leave the main system as it exists. That's undeniable.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I guess like one thing from the latest chapter I just want to shout out right now is that one line Scopper had where it's like, the title's not hereditary, right? Just spelling it out for people who didn't get it the first time and are still making theories about how like, oh, Luffy was destined to be Pirate King because his grandfather was a cool Marine guy and his dad was a cool revolutionary. It's like, what the fuck does that have to do with being Pirate King even? They did the whole hereditary thing with Ace, and Ace is dead, so that prophecy is gone. Like, Whitebeard grooming Ace to be the next Pirate King was government propaganda. Did you guys not remember that that's not what Ace wanted?
All right, let me go to our comments now. We got not 300, so I'm happy. Still a lot, though. Still a lot. Okay. All right. Mosu is Harry, which is the Fisher, which is the weird Shirahoshi thing that we're gonna get a lot of comments giving their own guesses on. Isn't Mosu Shirahoshi's dad? That would be hilarious. Neptune and Loki are chatting it up. Good for them.
That would actually make sense.
It'd be kind of funny if Loki's friend is this old. It'd be cute because it'd be like a grandfather figure. I think it'd be or like an uncle figure because their dads are friends. I don't think it's likely, but I think it's a cute idea. Let's see here. Thank you for changing my toxic mindset on fan theories. Oh, it's just the idea. Someone's like, "Hey, you helped me realize that you shouldn't get mad when your theory's wrong." It's like, yeah, proof that we are consistent in our ideals. I'm not mad. I was wrong about Rox killing a slave on God Valley. I'm not mad. I was wrong on that. I was surprised, but I wasn't mad. Yeah. Let's see here. Someone said my best contender for Mosa being alive is Ida. Oh, that's not likely anymore. I'm still gonna cope for that because that'd be wholesome. When Persona 4...
I mean, it kind of raised the question, why wouldn't Ida just go in person? But like...
Who cares? Be happy that she's alive. It's not gonna happen anyway. When Persona 4 Revival comes out, that might be the best bad opinion slop ever. I don't want to talk about... Bad Persona opinions make me, like they make me angry in a different way. One Piece opinions make me want to yell. Bad Persona opinions make me want to never touch the internet again.
Well, dude, let's
do
Persona 4 because I finished Persona 4 like a month ago. Let's do it, man. While it's fresh, while it's in my head and fresh. Ooh, let's do it. I'm ready.
No.
Is it going to be a lot of like comparisons between other games and that is supposed to be bad and I won't get it when?
No, that's a different thing. People do love using 4 to shit on 5, which is hilarious. Because 4 is the worst out of the big 3 Persona games. Fuck you. That's a hot take, but I'm right.
I liked it a lot. I don't think I agree. I think it's the best Persona game I've ever played. You
played the other one.
It's the best Persona game I ever played. I liked it a lot.
I do agree with that. That is true. No, it's not bad or anything. I didn't have super fun playing it the first time because the combat is so much more simple than 5, which I played first. It took me a while to accept the combat. Because I was like, I can't do half the things I like doing. Let's see here. Oh yeah, someone got into a car accident while we were playing in the background. Hilarious. Glad you're okay. Really funny. To be fair, Shirahoshi is a liar. Oh, this is when I said like Shirahoshi saying she's only talked to Megalo all this time would make her a liar. First of all, Shirahoshi didn't lie. No one said, "Hey, Shirahoshi, do you know who killed your mom?" No one asked her, first of all.
Well, also, like it's weird to call Shirahoshi a liar when, like, the reason why she kept the secret was because Otohime, like, this was her dying wish, basically, is, you know, to ask her to do this.
Yeah, whereas in this case, this would imply Shirahoshi is not allowed to let people know she's talking to Loki on the phone. Why would you? Why?
Like, maybe Loki said, "Don't tell anyone you talk to me, Yar," and then, you know, maybe that could be like, but that's like a cope
but she was
explanation.
doing like a panicked babble, so I have trouble believing she thought up a good lie on
Yeah,
the
you know,
spot.
like her, like, keeping the secret that, like, you know, Hody was the one who shot Otohime is literally like, I made a promise to my mother not to spread hate in this country. I have to keep silent. This is my, like,
and it was
life.
pretty easy.
This is the one mission in life that I have. This is the most important thing to me. And then also, like, she's not like a pathological liar like Usopp, who will just, like, you know, like, hide, is secretive and will keep
who
secrets
can
from people.
instinctively lie at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
It's also weird because, like, again, keeping that secret, you know, just like, one, no one's ever asking her. Two, she's in the fucking tower all day. She talks to like 5 people a day max, and 4 of them are guards. To be fair, we have no clue when Mosa and Loki started communicating. The most fair one I've seen, Puff, is that the exact wording, longtime friends, that Loki used to describe himself and Mosa was also used to describe Luffy and Usopp during Water 7. So maybe the amount of time is technically long enough, even though it's short as fuck. That's the only explanation I'll accept, is that that's the only explanation I'll accept currently that doesn't hurt my brain. Like, again, we could get... Oda could retcon it, Oda could do some bullshit, but currently the best explanation, if it is Shirahoshi, is that it's post-Fishman Island, and Loki has no fucking concept of time. Theory, Luffy and Joy Boy have always been the same person. I hate that theory.
I don't like it. I don't like... Like, when they introduced time travel in Wano, they made it pretty clear that, okay, you can only go forward. I'm like, okay, this makes sense.
Like.
You know, like, yeah, you know, like, One Piece has always been like, you know, you only have one life, so, you know, use it to chase your dream. You know, don't be afraid to put yourself out there and take a risk. You know, because the last thing you want to do is die with regrets and stuff. If you could go back into the past and change it, it kind of goes against all that. And also, like,
well, you know,
history...
it's also going to the past is plot hole 5,000. Going to the future, none.
Yeah, you know, it's just like get frozen in a block of ice for 100 years and nothing.
That's basically what you do when you time travel. Whereas going in the past is like, all right, are we doing multiverse?
Are we doing
closed timeline? Are we doing open timeline? What are we doing? Like,
are we doing it's like one
on.
universe and like it changes each time, or like, you know, like, does the person when they hop back, are they the only thing unchanged? It's like what it's like you have to introduce a whole like paradigm rule set for your universe. And also, like, Robin's whole character with understanding the true history and, you know, all that jazz, like, that gets stupid if you introduce the concept that, like, oh yeah, it's really important to understand history. It's like, oh, this conflict is like an inheritance from like 1,000 years ago, and it's like, oh, but also you can time travel and actually meet the people from 1,000 years ago and change the events of 100,000 years ago. And just like, maybe like the one thing I can imagine doing and me not hating it is if like one of Imu's goals is to go back in time and destroy the past in like a literal sense. But like that'd really be the villain's trying to do it and he has to fail. So even then I'm like,
yeah, that was the Boruto filler arc.
It was? Fuck, what?
There's a Boruto filler arc where an Otsutsuki goes back in time to steal Kurama from Kid Naruto because adult Naruto's too strong and too much of a pain in the ass.
Okay.
And then Boruto meets all the Konoha 11 and bonds with them. And
That's
it's fucking
not
hilarious.
quite the same as what I was talking about, but sure.
I know, but you know, a villain going back in time.
I literally was thinking like Imu goes back in time and like, you know, like destroys the ancient kingdom like 1,000 years before like the war governor originally did it.
Hey man, but you get it's the same villain going back in time because the current boss is too difficult for them. Well, that's another thing when people bring up like maybe we were too early is because Eam is slowly getting weaker. I don't like that idea. Just because, like, you know, like, narratively, it's more satisfying if Luffy's beating Eam at his strongest.
Yeah. And, you know, like, I do imagine that, like, there might be some element, like, oh, before Eam became mortal, maybe they were better and cooler and stronger, and that he had to lose something and give something up to become immortal, a portion of his strength or whatever. And like, oh, Joyboy was stronger and he was able to beat him, but Joyboy wasn't immortal, so eventually Eam won out in the end, or something like that. But like, we it would be really lame if we're just like literally waiting for Emu's power level to tick down to the point we can beat him up. It is just kind of, and also like it kind of runs counterintuitive because like the world government has been gaining more and more power as the time went on. So like, if we're just playing the waiting game, the world government's gonna win because they're owning most of the world and owning more each day.
Yeah. Could you ever cover Mob Psycho 100? I'd have to read the webcomic. I've only ever watched the anime.
Yeah.
I also don't know we'd have that much to say. Everyone glazes it, and so would we.
I know it's good, and then we'll look up. Yeah, people say it's good, and people say it's good, and I say it's good, and
like I think the only thing we get annoyed about are people being like, unlike other shows. But besides that, and again, like there's tons of good mob analysis. So even from a positivity perspective, I don't think we'd have anything interesting to add.
Yeah. One Punch Man, though. Oh boy,
that could be funny.
Oh boy, that would be a bit of a journey, honestly.
The funniest thing about JD Legend hating subtext is he's a big Bleach fan. That is really funny.
Like you don't have to.
No, like obviously it makes sense.
I think it's cool,
but out of the big three, Bleach is definitely the one that is challenging you the most to do it. Let's see.
You can enjoy Game of Thrones without understanding the subtext.
I mean, the writers did that and then they ruined it, so I don't know if I agree with that.
That is true. That is true.
Let's see here. Not sure about Rox having strong relationships. Whitebeard still wanted to fight side by. There's one thing we get a lot where we point out Rox didn't have good dynamics, and people bring up Whitebeard. I think Whitebeard had an interesting dynamic with Rox, but Rox did not have an interesting dynamic with Whitebeard. That is what I mean. The way Whitebeard interacts with and cares about Rox and Rox's place in his overall journey is interesting, but what Whitebeard does for Rox and how Rox interacts with Whitebeard is not interesting.
Yeah, they were just like kind of cool, and Whitebeard was like, "Yeah, I'll stay with you for this last fight," and then left when he turned evil and became a devil.
Yes, it is very cool that Joy Boy has the One Piece original OVA voice actor. That is fucking awesome.
Oh, that is great. Oh, dude, do you remember the stupid thing we said yesterday? Not yesterday, but the day before.
What?
What if that straw hat that like he's wearing is just Joy Boy's hair? Like it's just his hair.
It's not a straw hat.
And they built the straw hat to emulate Joy Boy or something.
I love that idea. It's hilarious. Very cathartic hearing what you said about Best Guy Ever. It's always pissed me off that he made a 50-minute video about the intricacies of translation and scanlation about what Big Mom was saying when she fell into the planet's mantle, but then goes out of his way to be like, Yamato is a girl.
Yeah, he is goofy.
Yeah,
like that.
he's a chud. Let's see here. It'd be funny if Loki is disappointed that Shirahoshi doesn't look like the snail. Shirahoshi shows up and doesn't have a full beard, and Loki's like, "Get the fuck away from me." Someone brought up. Imagined. I agree with the commenter that we should be pushing Loki x Fukaboshi to counter the Loki x Shirahoshi ships. I agree. We should fight for this. I think it's fucking a banger. It'd be so funny that Fukaboshi's like trying to get him to act like a real noble prince, and Loki's like, "You're so fucking weird." Let's see here. A theory I always liked is that Blackbeard would be the first Devil Fruit user to drown on screen. I don't mind that idea. I interacted with someone who's... This is kind of the thing that our One Piece fans are kind of acting like JoJo fans, where they're like, oh, well, you can kind of finagle Shirahoshi being the person on the Denden Mushi to not be an outright plot hole. But one, it's still awkward. Two, I still think it would hurt the writing, because if Shirahoshi's already been introduced to a literal Luffy parallel, why is Luffy such a major force in her life? Yeah. It should be he would be like a gradual next step, not a fucking hurricane. Because like that, fucking JoJo fans love doing that. They're like, well, if I can prove it's not a plot hole, then you can't say it's a criticism. Lazy tier list idea. How heroic they are. Kind of the opposite of did nothing wrong for villains. Rank protagonists on how heroic they are from like Superman-esque. I think that's a very fun idea, actually.
I think it's more like not as fun as the evil one.
We would
because,
need to get some very specific people in mind.
Yeah, you know, at this point it'd be argued between like who's more woke, like Sabo or like
Actually, fuck that. Yeah, fuck heroic. We need to rank shonen MCs by how woke they are.
yeah.
I
Well,
think that
we
would
could
be
have a
better.
tier called Dark Woke.
We should do that. Okay, that might be our next
Blackbeard
tier.
goes in Dark Woke.
He does not. No.
But he's got the darkness
No.
fruit, man.
No, I think there's actual. No, I can think of some actual dark woke characters, and it's not Blackbeard.
Yeah, you're probably
No,
right.
dark woke is like Eva transing someone because they were transphobic. That's dark woke. that's my dark woke queen right there. Let's see here. Oh, someone pointed out that we didn't catch this because it was a translation thing, but actually, Shirahoshi being called Shaggy was in the Odin flashback too. We didn't notice because, fucking English translation.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
We got someone who said, "What are you talking about with rocks? He knows his family got away safely because Kuma got to them, sending them wherever the other God Valley victims got sent. Rox was right there when Kuma did it. Rox doesn't know what the fuck Kuma did. Rox saw a child slap his wife and son, and then they weren't there."
Yeah.
And in
And
fact,
also,
some
like,
people are...
does he know? Okay, let's say he knows what the pawpaw fruit is and stuff. Like, does this fucking 5-year-old know how to use it?
That too. They all go to the sea. Another
They
one
got.
is also just
What if they got slammed into the red line? Then what?
or also just what I literally meant by it, which is Rox doesn't know where they are, so Rox doesn't know if they're safe.
Yeah.
And then apparently some people interpret it as Rox thinks he killed his wife and kid. I don't think so. I think Rox would have been having more of a breakdown if he thought he did that.
Yeah, no,
In
like
my
I think I prefer that like he just doesn't know, and then just another thing weighing on something like where are they, what's going on, as this whole demon thing's happening to him.
Right. Let's see here.
We got a couple on the last tier list video we did.
Well, I do think you guys are right about the Kuzan erasure. I do think it's likely Dragon and Kuzan, I'm going to assume you mean Dragon and Sakazuki, at the very least have a history together. It's possible, but the problem is there's literally, like, I can't erase the possibility because they were, in fact, potentially in the Marines at the same time, but there's no evidence of it. Because the only evidence is that Sakazuki calls Luffy the son of Dragon, but also Ace is being executed for being the son of Roger, so that means literally nothing.
You know, like Akainu and the world government believe in sins of the father, and that's all he's saying in that moment. Like, there's no implication that like that this is a personal beef he has or anything.
And then also, take it with a grain of salt because it's an interview. But in that recent Oda 10 Questions interview, the most interesting answer we got was when Oda said that Sakazuki, doing the military draft, indoctrinated a lot of small-town militias into the Marines and had them focus on pirates, which actually made it easier for the Revolutionary Army to spread. So it's like, wait, he's such a dragon hater, he's literally focusing on pirates and letting revolutionaries do better in the process. Oh, Puff, we got a funny thing. We got 3 different comments all saying, guess what? If the Loki Shirahoshi romance happens, it'll be like this. We've gotten the 3 possibilities. One comment said, Loki is the punchline to Shirahoshi's line about Vendor Decken not being her type, because she thinks that he's like a tall, beautiful bad boy prince who loves talking to animals. That is funny, but I don't think One Piece is the type of series to make that joke, so I disagree.
I think
different joke.
Maybe the joke would be like she imagines Loki as like, this kind of cute. She imagines Loki like the original silhouette we saw in Hogan, like this little round sweet boy who's misunderstood and kind of lonely and very soft boy, loves animals and all that. And then she meets him. It's like he has facial. Oh man,
the next 2 I got, which are hilarious.
Your muscles are too defined.
One person said Shirahoshi's gonna say Loki's not her type, just again, and then someone else said no, Loki's gonna say Shirahoshi isn't his type. Any of those, hilarious.
Because we know Loki's type, it's Lola.
Loki, okay, that would be hilarious. He sees Shirahoshi, one, no beard like the Denden Mushi, two, not an oval, and he's like, "You're not my type.
You're
Get away
not a
from me."
small oval. Get out of my sight. I only fuck with small ovals.
Some pointed out that by one definition of retcon, flashbacks technically are retcons, but I'm not gonna say best guy ever is right because that's not what he fucking meant. He just
I
wanted to bitch about
okay,
Luffy's
like
backstory.
if you mean the literal definition of recontextualization, yes, absolutely. Every chapter can recontextualize all the chapters that come before
No,
it,
because we
whether it
should
be
clarify, best guy
flash.
ever was using it derogatorily.
Yeah, like he brought up in the same breath as like like Nika existing, which that's a whole other like can of worms. Like the literal
Um,
definition of recontextualization is something every story does, because once you know how it ends or like stuff that happens later on, that's going to change how you read it when you reread it. Obviously, like so like every chapter has the ability to recontextualize past chapters, but when we say retcon, we mean like, oh, something about this chapter literally like is
or
does not.
retroactive well, the other one, Puff, is retroactive continuity.
Yeah.
Which is yeah, you retroactively add to the continuity, which is also not innately bad. And we agree, retcons aren't innately bad. That's why we call Gear 5 one, because it fucking is.
Yeah.
um, I think people headcanon the Dragon Sakazuki connection because Dragon doesn't really have his guy that he's supposed to fight. That is an interesting idea of why that happened, and I think it's true.
I think he does have his guy, and his name is Emu, and he's gonna job to him.
That is also extremely likely that he is going to
That's been
Stars and Stripes.
that's been my like theory since like day one. He's gonna job to whoever the final villain is, so
Mhm.
that Luffy can look extra cool and special when Luffy does it. That's been my headset since like I first like started
Mhm.
really getting into One Piece discussion.
People don't often connect that Rock's got his crew members by stealing them from other crews. His death was a tragedy in the sense that it's his fault for self-selecting a crew of people who would leave their captain for another. He chose his own undoing no matter his perceived virtues or family values. Rock is what happens when someone who thinks they understand Luffy's character forgets that his rapport with others is that they are with others that are not his family is critical to his success. Thoroughbark Oars succeeds where Rocks failed in God Valley. That's funny. And then someone said, but Rocks didn't fail because his crew left him. He failed because Eden just beat everyone and then soloed Rocks in the fan of 5 seconds. Luffy is going to win because he won't get folded in 5 seconds and will hard counter Emu. No, but thematically, like, it's very no, but it's also like Rocks' legacy. Like, Rocks' legacy shattered the second Eam Domi reversied him because the second Rock started attacking Dragon, Linlin, and Whitebeard, they're like, you would. And then all his other crew heard he was gonna die, or was heard he was fighting to the death, and thought, "Well, fuck this shit. I'm gonna take the treasure and bounce. I don't give a shit." Shiki literally announced, "This is the end of the Rocks Pirates." Next theories for the comment section. Buggy is gonna start collecting a lot more old warlords. I'd like it. I think it's a cool idea. The drawings that Oda has done of Emporio Ivankov with the dragon fruit is setting up that Moria will revive Kaido's body and put Eva's shadow in it. That's hilarious because that's not really like how Oda foreshadows. That sounds like fucking like a Song of Ice and Fire ass foreshadowing.
No, it
It's like
isn't. Just George R. R. Martin doesn't have an SBS corner. He just has
no,
interviews.
he does. No, but I just no, I mean like even like in canon something like if we saw a character imagine that as a joke. That's something that would be foreshadowing Game of Thrones. It's like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, I know. Like
on the
someone
wall,
having a
they
fucking
talk
fever
about a
dream.
man in the body of a beaver. This was actually foreshadowing that Uncle Benjen is a beaver making a dam north of the
Yeah, I know.
wall.
Like a character having a fever dream. It's like, oh, I saw a horse, and inside the horse's mouth was a duck. And then this lady I met, she has her house sigil is a duck, and she loves horses. Oh my god!
No, like stuff like that does happen in A Song of Ice and Fire. Garp isn't aware of Emu. Garp is aware of Emu, but he thinks it's a weird shadow demon the Gorosei can summon. He doesn't know the hierarchy correctly.
He's working with limited knowledge, but he knows that there
is a
fucking
thing.
bullshit happening over there, man.
Let's see here. Oh, we got a commenter that. Oh, Puff, we've got the Morge video where Morge was really pissed off the whole time. It was really scary.
Oh right.
Morge did a theory video about how Eam is probably the Sea Devil, which is, yeah, that seems to be where we're going. But he sounds like pissed off the whole time.
I know.
Funny coming
He's
from us
so
because we always
aggressive.
yell. But it was funny because like we even went like Morge has slowly gained more of like a loud hype voice over time, which is fine. But we even compared it to his other videos, and no, in this specific Eam is the Sea Devil video, he sounds like actually pissed off. And it's really funny.
Like, it sounds like, he just got, like, his car got, like, smashed or something, and then he had to go record this video.
It's just, it was, like, scary how angry he was. Next, he did this thing where he kind of contradicted his old analysis, where he said the sea isn't freedom. The sea is actually, like, a means of oppression, and freedom is the act of fighting against the sea. It's like, no, it's not. Your old analysis doesn't even agree with that, and your old analysis was better. Because, like, because, like, a commenter brought up that analysis, too, of the sea is isolation or oppression. First of all, isolation is not a major One Piece thing, so I don't think the sea would represent something like that.
I mean, it crops up now and again, like, maybe with Brook, but, like...
But I don't think it's big enough.
It's never really been associated with the sea specifically.
No, because, like, the sea, can separate people, but it can also protect people, and also it can... Because, like, here's how I'm going to view it. I'll sound like Jordan Peterson for a second. The sea is chaos and the land is order. Chaos is great because it's free, but bad because it's dangerous. Order is great because it's safe, but dangerous because it can be controlled and corrupted and manipulated. That's how I view it.
Yeah, like, I think we covered this before. It's like chapter 1, Luffy wants to be a pirate to go out to sea, get the free life, but Shanks shows him, like, the sea's dangerous. There's some big, scary fucking sea monsters out there that can bite your arm off, so you're not ready yet, Luffy. Prepare for a bit, then you can go out and have fun adventure. And then he does, and, the sea's always had a positive association for the main characters. Most obvious example is end of Enies Lobby. It's like, oh no, we're surrounded on all sides by enemies.
Jump into
Luffy
the
can't
sea.
move. What the fuck do we do? And it says, jump into the sea, our friend is here. Then they literally all just jump into the ocean and they get out safe because Mary
Or, like,
bailed them
another
out.
big Enies Lobby one is Robin twice during I Want to Live. In her flashback, she escapes through the sea. The sea is her outlet of escaping the world government's genocide. And then 2 is, the dub doesn't say this, so a lot of people might not know this. Robin's exact words are, take me to sea with you.
Yeah.
Because the sea represents her freedom. She will accept the chaotic free life of the Straw Hats over the oppressive life she's accepting. And then the commenter said, well, the sea is what isolated and trapped Robin. And it's like, that's not true unless you think Lucci and Spandam represent the sea.
Yeah, and they don't. They don't.
No. Now, of course, the question is, why does Eam want to free the sea then? And for one, I would say, let's fucking wait. But if I had to give a current analysis, I would say the point is, Eam doesn't give a shit anymore. Eam doesn't even want to be able to control these people. Because, like, by forcing the chaos of the sea onto people who don't want it, Eam is being a tyrant. He's forcing people into dangerous situations they don't want, and they're dying.
Yeah. And, like,
Whereas
also, I think it's also important to say, like, if Emu is the Sea Devil, I think it's important to remember that, like, the reason why devil fruit users, like, sink is because, they ate a devil fruit, there's a sea devil in them, and so the sea itself rejects them. So it's not that the sea devil is the sea hates the sea devil in this, like, dichotomy, I imagine. That's how they explained it, is that, like, there's a devil in you, that's why the sea hates you, and it wants to kill you and drown you. So if this is the sea devil, then that must be what the sea hates most, right?
Do you remember Borges' explanation for why the sea devil is only mentioned once and why the sun god is only mentioned once?
Oh, I remember that too. Oh, he doesn't want to tip off the readers.
Oda doesn't want to give it away. The lack of foreshadowing isn't because he changed isn't because he did the Bakuman. He went, read back, saw something, and said, "Oh yeah, I can use that." He was planning it all along, but he didn't want to give you.
Make Oda a more impressive writer or anything. You're allowed to introduce new subplots or, like, new elements into the story, especially if they work, like, with past elements, like Oda does a whole fucking lot. But you don't have to lie and say, he always knew, but he only, like, did once a patch because he didn't want to tip us off. He didn't want to play his hand. He didn't want to make it too easy for us to guess, because the only the only value a story can have is good twists and surprising the audience.
Yeah. No, I want to check the exact explanation of the Sea Devil because I think yours might be wrong. It said I thought it was chapter 1, but I don't see it. I'm looking at Shanks screaming at Luffy, and that's not what he's saying. He's saying the
I was
fruit
thinking,
of.
with Ennie's lobby with like CP and I eating their
Oh, that's
fruits.
a different one. Apparently it says check chapter 19. Oh no, yeah, it's Shanks talking to Buggy. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Chapter 19. Here I come. It's Shanks talking to Buggy. I knew it was Shanks talking to someone in the East Blue. I couldn't remember who. All right, where is it? What you saying, Shanks? They say that the devil fruit was enchanted by sea devils. Whoever eats it gets an amazing power, but the sea turns against them. Yeah, so the sea hates sea devils, is what's being implied here. Yeah, you're right. All right, just double checking. Uh, I thought Loki's phone buddy was heavily implied to be the giant chief. I don't think that tracks. Oh, Puff, when I was calling Best Guy Ever Dumb, I yelled it so loud it cut out, and someone said, did the mic cut out or was the R slur edited out? I would never. I said it too loud.
No. I'm the guy who lets the R slur slip sometimes.
I'm the one who yells at
too
it.
clean for that.
I'm too cool. No, I just thought it was funny because it's like, no, I literally yelled that loud. I thought people. Let's see here.
You know what's another funny thing in this chapter?
What?
The one of the pirates that was watching Buggy eat the fruit, or like Buggy's pretending to eat the fruit, is they say, it didn't work. Maybe it wasn't ripe. Does that imply that there's an unripe period where devil fruits are useless, or is this guy, or is this guy just an idiot?
No, I like the idea that because we saw how quickly. I like the idea that it technically exists, but it's like a half a second period. Because we saw the salamander fruit reincarnate. It's that brief second where it's like half a devil fruit. If you eat it then, you don't get shit. Oh yeah, no. Oh, the other thing we brought up with devil fruits changing personalities is Brooks. Because Brooke had the devil fruit for years before he transformed. What did that do to him?
It made him more jolly, of course, and like singing because soul, and he gave him enthusiasm.
Let's see here. We got someone else bring up something that I actually do want to reiterate because I think it's important, and that's when you approach a theory, you have to talk about how what it actually would do if it's added to the story. Because one is we hate the God's Knights children theory, not just because it's eugenicsy, but because NL being the son of a God Knight adds nothing to the story. And a similar thing to that, I think, is story implementation, which is whenever people get these grand they've made so many genius connections in their head theories trying to explain something. Like I remember one was like someone's theory on how giants were created through like living in Skypiea and inhaling cloud juice or something, and then breeding, and then every like once in 1,000 breeds you get a buccaneer or something anything really long-winded like that. One thing you have to genuinely consider is how do you think the manga is going to communicate this information to us? Do you think we're going to get a 5-page text dump explaining this to us? Probably not. Like I think it literally can't be too complicated. You got to think about how One Piece does exposition and think about what's being shown to us.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on what the legendary fruit of Elbaf is? The idea that it's a different version of the Nika fruit is pretty neat.
I like
The
that one a
idea
lot.
that one's very cool. That's probably my favorite. The idea that maybe it's like the fucking serpent, which would fit Loki because his eyes might also work. I've heard a lot of ideas, and they're honestly all really fun.
Yeah.
I'll take any of them.
It was a fun new Norse god, or like some different, like weird, more chaotic interpretation of the Nika text that made its own fruit or whatever. Or I forget there was this one which is like it's like fine, but I'm not a big fan of it. Just like it's like a Greek god that was the sun god, and it's like, well, come on, man, if you just make it, it's gonna be Norse if it's gonna be a different pantheon of gods. Like, come on. I think that was the one where just like I don't buy it. I
Oh,
don't.
someone brought up a good point, which is a lot of people are like really dumb with Harold. Where apparently they say the thing Harold did wrong was not join Rocks. When it's like, no, if he joined Rocks, he just would have also died at fucking God Valley.
Yeah.
Because Rox's flaws would not have been covered by just Harold joins and all of his flaws are gone. Rox still has a lot of fucking other problems. So no, I don't agree with that. Harold's flaw is that he wants O'Hara's stupid theory that he's doing it all because he's love blind. Because Oda's making the series all about love. It's called Romance Dawn. Look, there's so many romances in the final arc. We have Shocky Rayleigh. We have my pedophile ship. We have this. It's stupid, but anyway, because he said like, yeah, dude, Rox loved a woman so much he did stupid, dumbass things for her, and he's superior low to Eam. That's what Eam's backstory was. I hate O'Hara, but anyway,
And it's like, oh god, like I was just gonna say, Oda's not good at writing romance. Okay, like the most interesting romance I if I had to pick like one that he's probably ever written is probably like just Sanji Pudding, and you know.
My favorite is Sai and Baby. My favorite is Sai and Baby Father.
Okay, that one's funnier, but when I'm thinking of like actual fucking drama, it's like that's like the closest he ever got to that territory was Sanji Pudding, I think.
Maybe. And that's just because they had a dynamic.
Yeah.
Simply put.
And figure that's because the centerpiece of the whole arc was a fucking wedding. So
yeah, makes sense.
There you go, guys.
Yeah, because if I had to actually, because it's more so good in like the broad thematic way, not like, oh, look at their amazing interactions way. Because the thing with Harold is not some lovesick idiot. Ida literally tells him not to do certain things, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna do them actually."
You know, like he's basically just like Otohime 2.0, where like Otohime's convinced that to getting good with humans means getting in good with the world government. And, you know, the world government fucking sucks, so you shouldn't do that. You should be like Jinbei and try and ally with cool pirates like Whitebeard and Luffy.
He's kind of like an evolution of Otohime, because he did notice there were flaws within his own culture and society, but his reaction to that was an abject hatred and rejection of all of it, instead of, like, a willingness to break down and understand what's good, what's bad, what came from where. He just wants to tear it all down without really caring. And I think that's probably why Rock said Harold has a bit of fucking Joy Boy in him. Because Loki thing, or like whichever fucking one Loki said he is, and then Rock said he is. Because, you know, he's a bit of a destroyer. The problem is he's destroying his own culture for the sake of his culture. It's a fucking contradiction done out of desperation for the fact that he knows he can't go against the world government, and hearing that the world government fucking murked Rocks, in his mind, proved that even more. Especially if he believes Garp did it, because that just means Garp is just a fucking unit.
Yeah. I don't want to fight that guy. Fuck no.
He's like, I don't want that guy coming here. So yes, Harold is wrong and frustrating, and he's supposed to be, but I don't think it's like nonsensical or bad writing. And no, the solution would not be to join the patron saint Rocks.
I think it's really cool because you got like his two sons who are like kind of embracing parts of Elbaf's, you know, like history that like he rejected. Like, oh, you know, Hajuden wants to remake the giant warrior pirates, you know, and do that. And then like Loki, you know, like is an ancient giant. He has the horns. He has like the, you know, he loves to fight, obviously, and stuff like that. So. Yeah, it's like the parts that he rejected his sons still have, but also the sons both seem to respect Harold in their own way and will probably, you know, carry on his ideals properly this time, because that's what happens with flashback characters, that they're very flawed.
Yeah.
And then they do something wrong, they get fucking killed for it, and then the guy who's alive is like, well, I'm gonna learn from that and do it right this time.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, next video will either be a series or that dumb tier list I mentioned.
All right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.